Kenny, first let's talk about the horse that's in the Breeders' Futurity. Here comes Frazier. Big maiden win at Arlington and now into this spot. What impressed you about what he did up there?
Well, this horse has acted like a really good horse from the beginning. It's a great story. The horse is named after a partner on the horse named Bruce Frazier, who unfortunately passed away on August 24th. We renamed the horse 5 days before the horse's first race, and of course he was so impressive, everybody's pretty well excited. But horse acts like a good thing, and you know, it's a big test in his second start, but we think he's capable.
What was the distance of the first race?
6.
6. So now, is he give you every indication he's 2 turns is fine?
I don't think 2 turns is going to be an issue. I think the further he goes, the better. You know, he's a big horse. He acts like he's quick too, and that's the kind of combination it takes to win those kind of races.
From being a big horse, does he need to be outside of horses? Would you like an outside draw better? Does it matter?
Well, you know, he's lacking experience, so if he gets dirt in his face, I'm not sure how he'll handle it, but he's acted like he'll come from off of it in the morning. You know, he popped off on, you know, in a 6 furlong race, he went straight to the front and drew off. So he's capable of going to the front if we need him to. But, you know, it's going to be interesting. I like the fact that he's showing that kind of talent and never can be scared to try.
Coming from the poly track at Arlington to the poly track at Keeneland, is it pretty much the same? Horses transfer pretty easily?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. You know, we've been training the colt at Keeneland, so I don't know that that's a big issue. And a lot of my horses have been training at Saratoga in New York and a few at Belmont too. So I think the poly track's a pretty easy course to get over, and not a lot of need to worry about how they adapt.
Tell me about your filly for the Alcibiades.
You know, nice filly. The filly's, she's been respectable in a couple of small stakes. You know, I've had good luck in this race and won it 3 times and like to win at 4. But, you know, at this stage she needs a mile and a 16th and seems to be a little wide open. It's an awful big field, which would be a challenge for all of them, really. But, you know, the Rigney's owner, and this is something they're excited about, and they were encouraging me to go ahead and give her a shot in this spot as opposed to something more conservative. And never won 2 would have been a lot easier, but we swing high and hard.
Does it look pretty wide open, like a pretty wide open group?
Yeah, there's some good horses in there, actually. There's several of them that have won stakes already, and, you know, of course she hadn't proven herself to do that yet, but, you know, I think that she's maturing and she's getting better, and if she does that, she's going to be right in the thick of it.
Let's talk about Cathman Blue will be going in the Spinster, right? Or no, QE2 on the 15th, on anniversary day.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you think her best surface is. She's competed on all 3.
Well, you know, her best race has been that Churchill race, the Goldenrod, as a 2-year-old. But, you know, she's really solid. You know, her speed numbers in even the grass races have been good, and she's run respectable in the Ashland. She ran a good 3rd. But, you know, she's just a really hard-trying filly. She had some issues going into the Oaks with her blood work, and I think she may have had a little bit of a bug go through her at the wrong time, and we thought we had it sorted out. And I think her Oaks race is a throwout. But coming back to the grass and, you know, swinging high and hard again, and we're going to tinker a little bit with her medication. We're going to run her off Lasix, which we won several stakes last year with, you know, My Baby Baby and also Salty Strike without Lasix, and I think the Lasix may, you know, even, you know, help us find, or the lack of it, I think it in some cases dehydrates horses and dulls them a little bit, but we're going to try that and see if we can give Winter Memories a little bit bigger run for her money.
Well, I was going to say, what do you do to make up the deficit against a mare like that, a filly like that?
Well, we run within a head or a neck of her in the Breeders' Cup last year, and then we beat her in New York at Saratoga, and then of course she ran huge at Belmont. Winter Memories did. So, you know, that's one of those things that you know, they're going to go in, and we've got to give it our best shot. And we could pick an easier spot like the Valley View, but we've already got another filly for that anyway, and the DeBose family wants to try. We want to win a Grade 1 with her, so why not do it at Keeneland?
You won the meet title, or training title in the spring. How are you set up for the fall meet?
Well, we're all guns loaded. I do that. You know, I'm protective of it now that we've won a couple in a row in the fall, and you know, yeah, we've got all our ducks in a row. Let's put it that way. It's a lot of fun. I've got great staff that's help keep everything organized, and we're pretty well prepared for it. Any
of your 2-year-olds that have you, you know, a lot more excited than the others?
It's a long list. I don't even know where to begin. This is usually the time of year where my babies come around, and I don't tend to do all that great with them going 4 and 5 furlongs or even 6. But when they stretch out to 7, 8 furlongs, mile and a 16th, that's kind of my game.
Let's talk about the other stakes. You've got some. You mentioned the Valley View. You've got some horses pointed for other stakes. Tell me about some of those that are particularly you think coming up to their best effort.
Busy Caroline's doing super. We've set on her since she ran out in California in the Del Mar Oaks and the American Oaks, and she's traveled back east, and we've gotten plenty of time in between races for her. The Clay family at Runnymede Farm, they're excited to maybe win another one there, and that's 21st of the month. But she's a pretty special filly in her own right. Won the Regret, and she's.
And she came to hand pretty quickly.
She got hurt as a 2-year-old, but as a 3-year-old she was special. And then the trip to California, she kind of struggled, with the change in courses out that way. And I think bringing her back home and getting her back on her home courses will be better.
When you are preparing for a meet like Keeneland, it means a lot to you. How does a trainer go about kind of setting up to have all those guns loaded like you talk about? Beyond just like a coach that has great talent, what else is involved?
Well, first of all, because we race at Saratoga in the summer, we're running against some really tough company. We didn't have a great summer, which in some cases is, in the short term it's a negative, but in the long term, coming into Keeneland and Churchill, it can be a positive because we've got our conditions back, or at least the horses we have, and we've had a chance to maybe line them up here. And it tends to be easier at Keeneland in the fall than it is at Saratoga in August and July. So, and then I probably don't run very many horses in September to prepare for Keeneland. We worked the yearling sale, which we reloaded for next year. We had a really great yearling sale, so I'll tend to put my energy into the September yearling sale and then back off the horses and then prep them and then pick races for the Keeneland meet. So, like I said, we've been holding a lot of cards in our pockets and getting ready to play them on the table.
And lastly, for looking ahead to Breeders' Cup, how many races would you think you'd be involved in on those 2 days?
Well, honestly, I feel weaker going into Breeders' Cup than any year in the past. We've got unfortunate luck with Noble's Promise, we were pointing to the sprint of the mile. He has a small injury that we're getting taken care of, and then so he's not going to make it. And then you don't know how the babies are going to play out in the next few weeks. We've got to run well in the Futurity or the Alcibiades to get in there, and then we've got a couple of grass fillies that, are they good enough for that type of competition? And I kind of question that. So, chance I might have the weekend off. We'll see.